So, why did I enter Ukraine? I am currently in the capital of Poland, Warsaw. I left Ukraine on Monday morning. It's now Thursday. I've been in Warsaw for 2 days. Before that, I spent a night in Krakow. And pretty much everyone I told about my trip into Ukraine before I went told me that I shouldn't go. The war between Russia and Ukraine, in Ukraine and now in Russia, because the Ukrainian army is now pushed into the Kursk region, which, by the way, happened, I think, maybe 3 or 4 days before I was meant to go into Ukraine, so that kind of mixed things up a little bit. But this war has really interested me since it started in February 2022. I remember the uproar about the war. I remember Alexander Usyk going into fight. I remember Alexander Zinchenko that played for City, my team. I remember Ukrainian flags around the Etihad Stadium for him. I remember all of this, and I think I say this in the video, it was so surreal to actually be in Ukraine. But everyone told me not to go, and I decided to go solo into Ukraine. I am going to pass over to past Will, who was starting his trip to Ukraine in Košice, Slovakia. Good morning from Košice, Slovakia. The current time is, let me check so I can get it exact. There goes my water bottle. 2:58 a.m. 2 minutes to 3 in the morning, and I am in Košice, Slovakia, like I said. Now today, I am going into Ukraine. I'm going to be spending the next 4 nights in Lviv, a city in western Ukraine. There's no direct buses from Košice to Lviv, so I'm going to have to go to Krakow first. That's why I'm up so early in the morning. Stay up. I've been awake all night. I tried to get to sleep and I couldn't do it. So why am I going into Ukraine? Well, obviously I pretty much started I went to Ibiza in Italy, but I then flew to Bucharest, Romania, and I'm going all the way up to Poland before flying to Sweden. So Ukraine is very near, it's on the way up towards Poland. So I thought, why wouldn't I? Why would I not go to Ukraine? Some news came out a couple of days ago, about a week ago now I think, that Ukraine have actually now invaded Russia. They've gone over the border into Russia during the war, and they've taken some Russian land, and they've invaded, and I don't think that, I'm not entirely sure, I will find out, but that hasn't happened for many years. No one's invaded Russia for many years, and it happened this week. So I don't know how that's going to affect my trip. I don't know how it's going to affect the war in Ukraine. I don't know if things are going to escalate or not. I don't know. But I'm spending the next 4 nights in a city in Ukraine, and I'm going to be showing you around. I'm going to be filming everything, explaining everything. I'm going to try and understand to the best of my abilities what's going on in the country just through experiencing it, and I'm going to try and just put it across on camera as much as I can. I do think that my experience in Ukraine will be quite unique, because I'd say the majority of people going who aren't Ukrainian people are probably journalists and news reporters and people like that. I'm just going in as a tourist, and I'm just going to be filming it and just documenting my experience there. So I think it should be a pretty unique view. I know a few, travel vloggers and stuff have gone in, and travel creators have been to Ukraine. Obviously, I've had a look into where they've been and stuff. But ultimately, I'm going to be spending 4 days in Ukraine, and I'll take you along for the ride. I have arrived at the bus terminal. I can see a Flixbus here, which I think is the bus I should be getting on. But yeah, goodbye to Slovakia. It's been very nice, very interesting place to be. Although I feel like I've only just got here and I'm leaving. But yeah, we've got 8 more days on the road, 8 more nights on the road. We've got tonight 4 nights in Ukraine, 4 nights in Poland. After Ukraine, obviously I'm going to Poland for about an hour now, and then where else? Sweden. Been more than an hour now actually, because obviously you're driving through, and then, but it won't be too long today. We're literally just transferring over. The place doesn't seem to be open, so I need to find out what's going on here. Right, so I wanted to find a Burger King. There was a Burger King, but Burger King's quite expensive actually. What else can I find around here? Because there was one somewhere. Closed, open, yes. Right, I do recognise this place now. However, last time I came here last year, it was snowing. So that's probably why I don't recognise it in the morning when it's really light. It was like evening time and it was snowing, it was really dark. So, right, I've only got about just over an hour and I'm spending half of it looking for somewhere to eat. I don't have a clue. But there ain't a Burger King here. I don't get it. It said it was, let's go upstairs and see if it's up here. The line look has brought me to Burger King. Didn't have a clue it was here. Had to rush to get the coach then, because I thought I was going to miss it, so I didn't really film anything. But I've eaten, and now we're about to go to Live It. Feeling quite nervous now, to be completely honest. So, we got to the border, as you've seen already, and the funny thing was, and I don't know why it happened or how it happened, I've gone over every kind of possibility in my head. We stayed on the coach, the queue was very, very, very big to get to the actual where you kind of cross the border. One of the border control security people came onto the bus and started taking everyone's passport, and that happens in a lot of countries. I've been on a lot of borders where, you know, they just come on, take your passport, take them to the office or whatever and stamp them all and then bring them all back. However, this time what she did was looked at everyone and kind of said the name. So she was going up the coach saying a name. When she got to me, she looked at me and went, William, which is my official name. So I was like, yeah. And obviously I look a lot different on my passport because it was taken when I was when I was 14. So obviously that might have, you know, made her check a little bit more. The passport had been stamped, and I was pretty sure it had been stamped. I thought, right, we'll all just set off now and go into Ukraine. Then everyone started getting like the belongings and the bags and making their way off the coach, so I just followed. We then did, you know, what happens in most borders when you get off planes, queued up next to the ticket office. It took a little bit of a longer time for me to get through than others. I think again the woman on the passport control and in the little booth was a little bit suspicious of me. He said, "Is this your first time in Ukraine?" And I said, "What?" And you know when you kind of hear something, it registers with you after you've said what. And then she changed the question and said, I think she said, you know, where are you staying? I said, Lviv. She said, how long? I said, 4 nights. She said, right, and let me go. So that was it. Going from Poland to Ukraine was definitely less eventful than going from Ukraine into Poland, but you'll see that in a video down the line. Welcome to Lviv, Ukraine. I've literally just got off the bus then. I've had a look round for about 2 minutes, and yeah, this is quite surreal to be here. As soon as I crossed over the border from Poland and we started driving through Ukraine, I just got a feeling of that, I don't know, it was just surreal to be here. I was like, I'm actually in Ukraine here. Yeah, it's I don't know, I'm just still trying to work it out. What I do need to do is, I don't have a clue where I'm staying, so obviously I booked it, but I need Wi-Fi because there's literally no connection, there's no 4G, there's nothing. So yeah, literally it's like most of the time there's no bars on, you know, on the 4G, on the signal and stuff. So I need to find somewhere with Wi-Fi so I can locate the hostel and then find out where, you know, get to where I'm staying. So, to conclude this video, what can I say? Well, like I said, I turned up in Ukraine, it felt surreal. It definitely felt more Eastern than Western, if you know what I mean. I felt more like I was in Russia or Azerbaijan or Armenia than I felt I was in Poland or the Czech Republic. Like I said, it were funny. It was almost like they did seem suspicious of me because I was flying on a British passport. I was actually thinking, the way my brain works, I think of every eventuality and every possibility. I just think in my head, why would you take everyone's passport, give it everyone's back stamped, and then make everyone get off the coach? I've got a feeling maybe they saw my passport. Now, as well, knowing how suspicious they were on my way out of Ukraine, maybe they looked at my passport and said, yeah, we want to have a look at this guy. And they didn't want to just pull me off, so they pulled the whole coach off. I don't really know. I'll leave that with you. There will be a lot more videos. The next few videos are going to be me in Ukraine and just kind of exploring the country. But there is a lot coming out, so I hope you're excited, and I hope you enjoy them, and I hope you've enjoyed this one. See you soon.